Go.
And it begins.
So it
I
began.
thought he had some kind of theme music he's going to play or something.
Yeah, I had that.
Some kind of intro.
I had that after, so we can pretend it's on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, catchphrase. Hey guys, Brandon. Thanks for tuning in. Another episode. I'm in Mulliken at Farmer's Tavern with some good friends that are always fun to hang out with. Jim and Scott, Scott and Jim from Bikes, Babes, and Booze radio show on Cave Radio.
This guy rode from Detroit out here.
Yeah.
And how far did you drive, Brent?
I drove. I didn't want, my bike's really cool, and I didn't want to make you guys look bad. So
Here it is.
So we drove. I drove 15 minutes, but twice because I forgot
So your
something.
bike's got your sound system on your bike's got to stay in climate control. If it gets too cold, it'll fuck it up.
Yep.
That's a good excuse as any.
Yes. Let's go with that.
He
Absolutely.
sure is glad you put it that way.
I mean, why else
Well,
wouldn't
sometimes
I
you
ride?
got to lead the horse to the water. You
This
know?
is true. This is
Why else wouldn't I ride, right? Jeez, come on, guys. So you guys have been a long-standing show, Bikes, Babes, and Booze. You've had me on, and I appreciate that. And I wanted to have you guys on for a while, but the fucking season's busy, and
Oh, yeah.
you guys with your motorcycles that actually ride, I'm
Right.
always busy.
Right,
so
right. Uh-huh.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys driving out this far, this far to come on and fucking.
Well,
shoot
we did
shit.
it purposely. We can't harass you about not riding if we
Yeah,
drove
exactly.
ourselves. So.
Yeah.
We try to steer clear of being hypocrites.
You know, and there's still plenty of season left for doing biker shit, you know?
Yeah, well, where's Jill?
Yeah, swap
Jill's
meet.
fault. Totally, that's right. As long as she's not here to defend herself, it was like, yeah.
Well,
So-
swap meet season is here now.
Yeah.
So, that's when a lot of the off-season stuff happens, is at the swap meets or in between the swap meets. And this is a good time to interview those that, he's cooking
hey.
still.
Yeah, it was getting a little warm, man. These things work great,
Thought I
man.
smelled sausage.
I thought only women hit shit under their tits.
Got an apple?
Hey, I stuff too sometimes. What do you think Jill talks to
And
me?
it is that time of season we would be talking about heated suits. You know?
Yeah.
'Cause I got nothing against them these days.
Yeah, still don't have one.
Well, drop that price a little, right? The fuckers aren't exactly cheap.
Right. It's cheaper just to set myself on fire. you know?
I'm hot hands.
This is
You
like
know.
$3, you know, unless you buy it in bulk.
People just call me
Yeah.
hot hands, just so you know.
What'd you do? Because what do you got, 17 of those?
I got a couple more in the buy.
Stood up, they fall off the fucking ground.
Hey, man, do what you gotta do. I mean, I can handle the heat, but the cold sucks these days, you know? Getting old's drag.
I'm the other way, man. I'd rather be cold. You can only take off so many clothes before it's obscene in the heat. But you
Well,
can layer the
that's
fuck
all
out of shit on.
interpretation, you know?
Well, yeah. I get tired of people pointing and laughing.
People point and laugh at you all the time. What's the difference?
Like, what the fuck is that?
Hey, he's in shape.
Who's the fat chick?
He's in shape. Pear's a shape.
That fucking hairy fat chick running around naked. How did you guys start Bikes, Babes, and Booze? You guys have known each other a couple of
Right.
years.
Well,
Jim called me.
the start of it goes back to Cave Radio itself, and Cave Radio was owned and operated by two guys that we went to school with, from like junior high on, and those guys owned the studio, and at that time it was had just moved into a studio. Prior to that, it was in a garage, and prior to that, it was in somebody's basement. So it started,
How outrageous it
exactly,
evolved, right?
Yep. So that evolved into a building, and then at one point even two buildings, but then back to one, and they did that for like about 15 years altogether, I believe it was, and then they just actually, well, I guess it all started with not me thinking of a show for us. That was kind of thrown at us by the studio.
Okay.
What I was looking to do was, I actually used to do voiceovers and stuff like that. So I was looking for more work, and I thought I could use somebody's show as an outlet
Yeah.
to do that and maybe promote. And he goes, why don't you just do your own show? And then that totally morphed from doing any kind of voiceover. We're just doing our own show, and didn't even know. I said, I have no idea of a concept for a show. What am I supposed to do? And he goes, well, you got a motorcycle. You love bikes. That's all you guys do is ride all the time. I'm like, well, that's kind of cool idea, and I never really put it together. But the first person I called was Scott, and he at the time was
The first.
Yeah,
It was.
At the time, he was wrenching on motorcycles at a motorcycle shop.
Okay.
And so I thought,
That was after that, but yeah.
was it after
Yeah, it
that?
was.
I thought it was during that.
No, it was just after.
Oh, okay. So just after.
Just after,
All right.
by a year.
So he had just retired
Right on.
after a lengthy
Unless you own a
career.
motorcycle shop, you don't make money at a motorcycle shop.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So him, and I have been friends since childhood. We've been kid friends, and grew up together, and we decided that motorcycles was a perfect format. So we decided what
we
the
wrote
hell.
everything. Yeah.
And from there, it opened so many doors in this world, and as well as we do, that the motorcycle world is huge, but it's small at the same time.
Tight-knit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of camaraderie, and there's a lot of networking that goes on between all of us in this kind of thing,
Yeah.
where we're the interviewers or the interviewees, which are the bike builders and the bike shop owners and the
And he's
magazine
Mr.
runners and all of us.
Congeniality, man. He can talk his way into a concert at the Buffalo Chip without paying.
There you go.
I got 6 people. No, how many? 4 of us. There's 4 of us. I got 4 of us into the Buffalo Chip, with Five Finger Death Punch being the main act coming on that evening, and that was the ones we wanted to show. And I got to the gate, and she said it was like $250.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
look, I go, we just rode in. I haven't even gone to the campground yet. We're coming from Detroit right here because I want to see if we should camp here. All I'm here to do is I want to look at this place. We all want to look at this place and check it out. She goes, really? I'm like, yeah, I just want to check it out. I go, half hour, just let us in, let's walk around, check it out, see if this is the thing. And for us,
3 days later.
and if we do, then you got 4 new campers, and she's like, all right. She goes, go in through that gate over there. So I go in through the gate over there, and as instructed, and they're like, where are we going? I'm like, just follow me. And so
I learned that a long time ago. Don't ask any questions.
Just
If he's
go.
going somewhere,
Yeah.
follow him and stay
And
close.
and so we get, as soon as we round through the gate, and now this is the main gate going into the Buffalo Chip, and there's, guards and people
Yeah,
there, and one guy goes, hey dude, what are you doing? I'm like, the girl at the booth told me just come in through the gate. I'm coming in through the gate as I was told to do. I go, we're here, I already talked to her, we're on a mission here. So
Yeah.
we're just here for a short term, and we're out, we're just here to check the place out. And he goes, you're supposed to have wristbands, so keep your hands in your pockets or something. And I'm like, cool, good to know, thanks man. I told everybody, so everybody had their left hand in their pocket. We're all doing, walking along, woohoo! And so we ended up staying for the whole show. And, we watched the whole show, and we were there till, I don't know,
Walking
3
out.
hours in the morning, and then we took off, and we were amongst the last bikes parked out in that field just prior to the main gate entrance, and that was it, so 4 of us in for free, and saved us, what, $1,000 or whatever. So-
Walking out and be like, I just don't think it's a good fit, maybe.
Jim's famous for stuff like that.
Nice.
So.
Nothing weaseled, nothing gained.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly, for sure.
And, this has been an outlet, too. I mean, I went to Milwaukee for the 115th anniversary.
Sure.
Rode my 71 Shovelhead. Nobody else could make it, so I went solo. And I took the long route, went up. UP. Michigan, you gotta love it. We got our own state right here. So went up through the UP, across the Mackinac Bridge, and through
Wisconsin down.
Wisconsin, and then down into Milwaukee from there. And, beautiful route, way better than going through Chicago in that nightmare, but,
That sucks.
yeah, so it was beautiful. Anyway, I get there and they're having the indoor motorcycle races,
Hell
the
yeah.
AMA, the dirt track, and they're doing all that stuff. So I go to the back door and I, where all the press
Was
stuff
that
is.
before or after your shifter fell off?
That was after the shifter fell off. That was right when I arrived. That's a whole other story.
Post shifters, what it's referred as.
It was 71 Super Glide. Got all the way there, 50 miles away from Milwaukee, and the shifter fell off. And I was pulling out to get gas at an exit and realized, hey,
This can't be
there
good.
is no other gear. Okay. Clutch and roll.
Something's amiss.
But anyway, so I get to the arena of sorts, whatever it was, I can't remember the name of the place, and I go into the back and I go, I need a press pass, I need to get, right up, and I'm with Bikes, Babes, and Booze, and she's like, who? And I'm like, my producer was supposed to call and set all this stuff up, he always drops the ball. So I'm taking it, you're telling me that Cave Radio isn't on there? She goes, no. And I'm like, this happens so often. This is such a crock of shit. I go, I don't mean to take out my aggression on you. Is there anything you can do to help me out? This guy is going to lose his job eventually, but he's friends with the owner. So. And they're like, let me see what I can do. And next thing I know, I'm in the pits, taking pictures and everything. Nothing weasel, nothing gain. It's just,
Facts.
I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know. At the time, I really didn't know. I was supposed to have called like months in advance and made all this. I was like, whatever, I'll figure
Where's
it
the
out.
challenge in that?
Exactly. So that's just that's just me.
But it's also cool, like being in the infield at Sons of Speed and running into, like Roadside Marty and
Right.
people like that.
Yeah. Billy
That's where I
Lane.
got to meet Billy Lane.
That's cool.
Oh, I'm so into that Sons of Speed, Maybe that's something.
Any of the vintage bike scene is totally cool.
Right. I mean, but
Yeah.
It's rich boy territory, but it's still
yeah.
realistically, it's not. I mean,
Well-
you could be doing that Sons of Speed with a flathead for under 10 grand, depending on how much you have to pay for the purchase of the bike in the beginning. If you already have it,
Right.
A lot of that stuff is stock classes or slightly modified, and there's only so much you can do to a flathead anyways by the rule book,
Right.
Look at Steve Broyles, the one that he has his guy run, that's got an inverted front end on
Stevenson Cycle
it. Stevenson Cycle.
since
Shameless plug.
1969.
Shameless
Yep.
plug.
Yeah, shameless plug.
I'm all about it.
It's not that much, man. It's cheap fun. Who doesn't want to go 100 miles an hour in a circle on a motorcycle, Out
Yeah.
there trying to beat everybody else, but then you got the high boy classes, where they're running the real rare shit and, really modified.
Right.
They're out there just fucking hammering it, man.
If you
And
haven't
you've
seen it,
got the Race of Gentlemen too, the Trog,
Yeah.
and then Barber, of course, in
Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama, every year has the Century Race, which is really what got me hooked.
Right.
And especially because that held one of our hometown heroes, Slow Joe
Joe.
Gardella, and he was always battling against Dale Waxler from Maggie
they're
Valley's
both gone
Wheels Through
now.
Time, and they're both passed now. Yeah. I went to Slow Joe Gardella's.
Yeah, we could sit here and
celebration of life,
we could sit here and name drop, people we've had in
Yeah.
on our show, and
Oh, yeah.
it makes all the rallies way more fun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It gets us into places, and we always say, come on, we invite people to go with us. It's like it's a little more fun for us because we get to do things that most people don't.
Right.
Go places and we know the people.
Get invited on certain rides
Yeah.
when you're in Sturgis.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you guys are kind of the OGs of because there's a lot of creators in Michigan right now. I
There is. We've been around
every
almost
white guy,
a decade now.
every white
so-
guy with a microphone's got a podcast.
Yeah,
So
because it's so easy to have.
This
Equipment's so
month
cheap now.
marks our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
So,
So-
this month, it was 10 years ago in 2014 we
So
started.
I mean, and that's you guys paved the way, really. I mean, if not technically a podcast, because I guess it's better then, right? Because you guys have
We do a
back
live
and
stream,
video.
but
Right, man.
Yeah.
We're throwing ideas back and forth, man, you know, so when we get this thing back up and running again here, hopefully sooner rather than later, you
yeah,
know.
we're upgrading and
y-
evolving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna
it's
try and
important
stick
to
with
do.
the
Yeah.
times, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I think.
Right, look.
Well,
look
you
at
jumped out of the
way-
gate
yeah.
doing this, you know,
Yeah,
which has got, you know, anybody is gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna
gravitate toward
we're gonna
video
plagiarize who we
just
can, you know,
listening.
and, you know, that's the best form of flattery, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
If it
absolutely.
ain't trademarked, we're gonna try and
I
steal
mean,
it.
I've been trying to steal your shit, so I'm like, I should at least have them on, I guess.
Well, you'd have to actually ride your motorcycle.
Well, baby steps. I'll get there. I'll get there.
I'm just glad those training wheels are on. It's so hard to watch you tip from
None of
one
us
to the
wanted
other.
to be you. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you see this right here, Brendan? Those are souvenirs for you.
Okay, what's that?
That one's from South Dakota, and I got some Montanas and Wyomings, you know.
Are those various bug species, or is that just dirt samples?
Those are various bug species.
Could be either.
I unpacked them.
both.
I unrolled them this morning on the way out here, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Those are probably eating away at the leather, so I'll have to
Right.
clean them tonight. But hey, you know,
Hey,
I'm going to Sturgis. I'm going to Sturgis.
Oh, that was such bullshit.
I'm not going to Sturgis.
And I had,
But I mean, it's
I had
just like
fucking,
anything else.
I had some good interviews fucking set up too, man. I was bummed.
Yeah, those were in the UP, right?
No.
Because all the pictures I saw, you were in the UP.
Yeah, I took Jillian up there because I should have went to Sturgis. But
Yeah, you should have drug her
coulda,
to
woulda.
Sturgis.
I should have.
well, you know, he didn't know which one of us to spend some time with, and since
Right,
we were
right,
up in the UP too, it was me. And
That's how, yeah.
That's okay.
Listen, I know who my favorite is.
Well, I don't
Anyway.
make
what's his name again?
right.
Jim and
So the other guy.
Yeah.
Jim and his buddy.
I'm number 2.
Yes, you are.
We were trying to think of, actually, Jill and I, this morning, we're trying to think of the ride name that was up there that you were up there for when we were.
No, the JD Jacobetti.
That's the
Yeah.
one.
DJ Jacobetti Home for Veterans.
Yep,
is
that was it.
I'm
in
dyslexic. I always say JD. I'll never
Oh,
get it
yeah.
right ever.
Well, it was
At this
it was the first veterans home in the state of Michigan.
In the
it was
UP.
the very first one.
And it was in the.
yeah,
yeah,
and
in the UP, in the Marquette.
our buddy Chops and I went up there in 16 because Jim went.
Yep.
We went to Sturgis in
2015 for the
15, and
75th.
him and Eric and a few other people went back in 16 to see on the off year, you know. And so me and Chops, we were going to go up there, and Chops' cousin was a member of the Combat Vets
Okay.
Motorcycle Association, and of course Rob always bails out. So we ended up going ourselves, and they just couldn't believe that people came that far, you
Yeah,
know. And it was
from Detroit.
crappy weather, you know. But you know, we pulled into Cookie's place, and
They got
it
red
was
carpet treatment.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it was top notch all the way, you know, and we made some really good friends out of the deal, you know, and
Yeah, that's
can't wait to go back. I've spent 2 years and I've missed, so I have to go this year, you know, and it's for a great cause. There was a bunch of WW2 vets still living in home when we first
Yep.
started going there. You know?
If I recall correctly, and I may be wrong, but I believe it was 28. The
Yeah.
first year we were up there.
Wow.
There were 28 World War II.
And that was the
veterans.
second year that I was up there, you know. And Cookie's place is this little tiny cabin on this lake. You know, it must be good fishing, but there's a lot of moss. And Jim's the goose whisperer up there. All Cookie's geese love Jim.
I'm not going to even ask.
They follow him around. He's
Yeah,
like the
please,
goose
no.
whisperer.
It only happened one time, but it was
It was
weird.
it was old school. You know, it was just a bunch of bikers in tents and everybody drinking and having a good time, partying their asses off, fireworks, bonfires, you know.
10-foot high bonfire.
Yeah, dude, it was
that had been
nice.
soaked
So-
in kitchen grease for 2 months.
For your people, I'm gonna.
For gas.
And the first year I had a really embarrassing moment, man. You know, you get old, you get, you know, shit happens, you know, and I got sick, you know, and it's a party foul, you know. Don't
Oh,
worry about
yeah,
it, the
go
Reaper,
with
you
it.
know. And yeah, the women didn't like that the next morning because I was like, okay, cool, man. Went back and passed out, you know. But yeah, it was from the get go. That's one of my favorite rides.
I want to check it out.
It's phenomenal what they do for those guys, and the guys all come out to the parking lot who are able and want to.
Sure.
Yep.
And they all come out to the lot, and we walk around with them and talk about the bikes, and they always do lunch, so there's like pizza and cookies and all kinds of goodies.
Heck yeah.
Everybody gets to just kind of hobnob together for, a good hour and a half, and it's not a super long
Try
time.
not
I
to
really
crash.
wish it was, yeah. But then we take off from there, and then from there, on our way there, it's pretty much straight shot from the American Legion to the DJ Jacobetti Home for Veterans,
In
which
Little
is
Lake.
usually either partially or fully police escorted.
Right.
This year it was fully.
Was
Last couple of years it's been partial.
Yeah, it's usually.
So just from town, and
Yeah,
then once you
to-
get back
to where
into
you-
town,
right.
so to speak.
So
Right.
what's the closed down air base right there? I can never remember the name of it.
K.I. Sawyer.
Yeah, they usually hit us just before that. They'll drop off and then
Yeah.
pick us back up when we get into Marquette.
Right, basically, they get us out of Little Lake, which is where the American Legion post
Yep.
is, through Gwynn, which is the
Right.
very next town. And then as soon as we're out of Gwynn, they let us go. And then as soon as we're getting into just the outskirts of Marquette, then they're usually waiting for us there, and they pull out in front of us. leave us
And
in
mind
Marquette.
you, if you do go up there, it's hit and miss. There's a BYOB titty bar.
Yes, there is.
Bring your own boobs?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Bring your own beer, and the lady who runs it, when the train comes by, she jumps out the back door and flashes the engineers.
That a girl.
Yeah, and that's just right there in Gwynn too. I can't remember that place. Everybody who's been
Yeah.
out there knows that place, and it's hit and miss when it's open.
Well,
So
that's
It's a
a
roll the dice.
I know, but still.
That's a roll of the dice if you want it open and you get in there. You're like, ugh.
That's one of them places like Bisco's, you know the reputation, but you just got to go there anyways,
I get it.
just
I
do
get
it,
it.
just your curiosity.
And the ambiance. I mean, it's kind of fun just to be like, hey, if you want, you turn your head and see a set of cans.
Right.
Beers. Have some beers with your boys and
Yeah,
say you're there.
exactly.
So,
The titty's a titty.
Nice rib cage.
is that a bullet wound?
Oh, another C-section, girl.
Wow. What time's the A shift?
That's Friday night.
Well, that's awesome. So we were thinking, because we were going around, she's been at more events than me this year.
Yeah, we know.
Which is yeah.
We know.
Jill's off to the side.
You might as well just start riding bitch.
She got her license, man. She got her endorsement.
Yeah.
That's what I'm angling for. I like the nap.
Hey, depending on how good they ride, I'd ride bitch for a woman. I don't care.
Hey, man.
I'm gonna be hanging on like this, but
There is
who
no
cares?
shame in my game.
It's the only time nuts to butt is okay.
Exactly.
It's the only time.
That's right. Yeah.
But you also have, back to back is no picnic either.
If you gotta ride a buddy, it's back to back.
Right, but I mean,
Because there are no nuts to butt.
right, but man, the last time I did that shit, man,
It's hard for
Rob
you.
was playing and he was goosing it on his dresser, Road King, whatever you want, and there was just a backrest on it. I'm hanging over, and man, I swear to God, we must have been up like that because I was looking straight down at the ground like this, man. I'm like, holy shit, here we go, People pointing and laughing, I'm used to that. There's nothing you can do at that point, You can't even just do this.
Right. That's when I would want a full face helmet, right?
Sure.
So you guys are getting set back up in.
We're gonna have actually two locations. We're gonna have a studio set up in my garage in Fenton, and we're gonna have one set up in his garage in Redford, which is actually only about a mile from the original studio.
Right, so depending on our guest,
Yeah.
it's closer.
Makes
Yeah,
sense, right?
Well,
Yeah,
and-
like if you were coming on from Lansing, we'll do it at my place,
Sure.
If we've got the guys from Shielded Souls coming in from, Brownstown area.
Yep.
They're gonna go to
Well,
his house,
on top of that,
so-
now us owning all of our own equipment, and making the move, just as you can accommodate more people's schedules, so.
Yeah.
We can pre-record and just drop parts on, you know, there's so many options we got,
Yeah.
you know?
There is a lot. I went large scale to start because I didn't know what I needed. So I'm
Go
like,
big or go home?
Yeah, so I'm like a fucking gear junkie, man. I got all the shit that I just don't even use anymore, and it's like fucking. This is pretty much.
Like your motorcycle?
Yeah. To be fair, it's right next to my motorcycle. All right, cut.
So it's
Fuck
all
these
grouped
guys.
together.
Yeah. I
It's
should just sell
probably
it.
tucked away underneath the cover right now.
Yeah, there's probably a box of Legos in there too. All this stuff I don't use anymore.
Some old Shogun Warrior bullshit. So I got it down to this to where I could take my bike when I had saddlebags. When I have my tour pack comes in and I decide to ever start riding again, we'll I'll be able to take just this to wherever I go. So
Right.
it makes it easy.
But that is a nice Harley shirt you got on.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
And remember, if it's been that many years between rides, sometimes those gaskets will dry rot, so you might want to swap those out.
For real? So what do you guys looking forward to most with the evolution? I guess is it just to be more flexible with?
I think this is going to be a big part of it because we're going to do video. We got we acquired 4 cameras,
Right.
So we're going to have 4 different cameras to work with, and you know, I think that'll help, especially when we have guests to get, you know, or well, anything. It doesn't really matter.
Video
but,
captures people's attention more than just
Exactly.
audio.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
So that's a big plus. But I do like the fact that, like Scott said, we can do more of a remote angle for it. We can go to places and
Yeah.
record and then edit it. But that's going to be a big learning process for us too, because I am not computer savvy enough to do that shit.
Right,
He's
right.
even more
But we do know
archaic and
Sharice, and she
caveman-ish
makes
than I am.
those, you know, reels and stuff, so maybe we can talk her into helping us at
It's
least get started.
it's a curve, man. Like
Yeah.
I switched my software up to a better one last year, and I know I'm not even touching the surface of what that fucking can actually do because I'm just like me.
Right.
Fucking, I'm like, did that really work? It's like fucking, I can make it move. What the
Right.
fuck? So, but even I noticed that even like some of the other guys in the state, they're probably way better at editing software for like short shit because I don't do much of the reels and the short stuff. I mean, a little bit here and there, but
Okay.
I'm not big on TikTok
See,
and all that.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you about that shit. You
Yeah.
know, and that's probably way easy compared to the software that you need to run this kind of stuff and edit it.
Yeah,
especially putting
like trying to get
music
Jim on
to it or
Messenger,
backdrops.
you know? I gotta usually screenshot and send it over, hey man, there's a chat going on right now, you know? You might wanna get involved.
Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Michigan Biker Law. If you've been in a wreck, you need to seek help from the only motorcycle accident attorney in the state, which exclusively represents us, the motorcycle community. If you've been to any events or several bike nights throughout the state this year, you've no doubt have seen them set up. They care. They're out and about and hanging out with us doing our thing. 1-800-MIBIKER for a free consultation if you or your loved one have been in an accident. Hey Ohio, some good news for you. Michigan Biker Law's team is expanding into Ohio for Ohio Biker Law. Call 1-800-OHBIKER. Get a free consultation for Larry. If you or your loved one have been injured in an accident, it's really the only people to call. Let's get back to this episode.
So how long have you guys? Let's see. Where are we going with this?
I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
Okay.
You recently, we're gonna go, yeah, we're blind leading the
Really
blind.
support.
Yeah. You at what event was that?
That was Mary's.
Mary's
It
event
was
down
the
River
Salute
Grove.
to Veterans in Mabee, Michigan.
Is that the Legion there?
No, it's
US
Yeah, you know,
military
I got all the information.
yeah, it's a military.
U.S. military.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Pyro. I
we
know it's
should
your
know
house.
all this, and
Yeah.
if they see it, we're gonna look like
Yeah.
assholes.
And I almost wore their shirt, so I could have just went.
Right?
But you met this. You've known this guy, or did you meet him there?
No, neither actually. This is a book by J.C. Handy. He's a Vietnam veteran. My work outside of my hobby, which would be bikes, babes, and booze, I sell collision shop supplies, and this gentleman owns a collision shop, a family-owned business for quite a few decades now. He's a Vietnam veteran, and he dealt with, in some small way, a subject matter about Vietnam or any war, really, that I don't really believe has ever been touched as far as coverage or a documentary or film or anything on it, and that is what's deemed as GR, or Graves Registration. It's basically how they handle our veterans that are deceased, yeah, the remains.
In combat.
Correct. So I met him, and he told me about this book he wrote, and I love books about usually World War II.
Okay.
Is what I usually read, but this was Vietnam, and this is still near and dear to my heart because my uncle and my father both served during the Vietnam era. So I, really wanted to read that just for something different, especially since it was somebody I knew that wrote it.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
it makes that connection. So once I read it, I was just enthralled with the characters, and then he had told me that all of the story, he interviewed all these people that worked in GR during Vietnam.
Okay.
So he extrapolated all of their true stories, these are all true stories, and made them into one singular character stories, and then another singular character stories, and throughout the book. So it's all true stories, and it's all true stuff.
Fiction based on nonfiction.
Fictional
nonfiction?
Truthful history, I guess. I don't know.
Fictional
how you-
nonfiction.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Based on
Yeah.
true events.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
So everything in it is true, but it wasn't from one person's perspective. It was from several.
Pieced together.
Yeah, pieced together, exactly. So, but I love the way he wrote it, and I really liked his style of writing, and I just really liked the story. And it was, like I said, a subject matter I'd never seen covered or talked about. I mean, Taking Chance with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
That briefly, so very briefly touched on Graves Registration, but this is so much more in depth, and I don't think anything else has ever covered it. Not that in my experience that I've
Right.
ever seen.
So I'm looking forward to reading this. I probably should have already, but I didn't. And I don't know why. I've had fucking time too. It would have been the ideal
What
time.
the hell, man, slacker?
I've been riding my motorcycle.
Yeah.
And anyway,
I was gonna say this isn't a motorcycle. You can do something with that if you'd like.
does Mr. Handy have a? Does he do charity stuff, or is it like does he donate portions of the book thing to anything, or is it just to get knowledge?
No, I think it's just to get them acknowledged,
Okay.
about, bring recognition to these guys and
Yeah, because
what they did and the sacrifice they made,
Yeah, because it's not mentioned a lot because it's got to be a fucked up,
Yeah.
horrible fucking thing.
Right.
So there's not that there's any glory or glamour to war, but that's like the worst of the worst, probably
Exactly.
shit you come across there. So
And Scott and I had both agreed when we started Bikes, Babes, and Booze that, if we were going to support charities, of course it was, we had to believe in it. We had to back it 100%, and if we didn't, then no deal. But the primary focus we wanted to focus on was veterans and children. Anything that had to do with either, if they needed our help, we were there.
Yep.
And then anything else that came along that sparked our interest or was like, wow, we would never have thought of that. That's a great thing to stand behind. Then of course we're on board.
Case by case, that-
Exactly. So there's been lots of different things that we supported, but this is one that I most recently wanted to support, and it's www.jchandy.net, and that's HANDY, JC, Jack Charles, if you want to go with some sort of something to stand for the initials, but jchandy.net.
okay, and I'll put the link. I'll put
cool.
the website up
Awesome.
on this and
Sweet.
and check it out. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to reading it because I dig stuff like this as well. And
Yeah.
it's hard to be a biker in the bike community and not support veterans. I mean, the shit's so enthralled together.
Right.
It's how it started.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to reading this. Again, check it out. Another thing that I want to talk about, which is interesting that someone got suckered into for next year. Don't you build a bike for the Stallions next year?
Oh,
I got to get the electrical hooked up in my shop before I can do that. I'm working with no power right now, so.
This sounds an awful lot of like.
An
This is why I
excuse,
don't
yeah.
ride my bike.
Right. I've got another couple weeks to make the
Yeah.
decision. I really would like to,
I hope you do. I think it would be fun and to know somebody I know fairly well. To see your progress and maybe even.
Yeah, because we'll be writing in the same magazine here and there,
Yep. So that'd be
So
pretty
that
cool.
would be the whole experience should be pretty fun. So
And I think
more than likely it's going to be a yes, but
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like
know
your
this is
first
your
build.
I know this is your interview, but can I ask? Do you have a plan of what you want to build?
oh, absolutely, I've got a real good plan. Actually, I've got two.
Okay. Are
and-
things in motion? Do
Not
you have
yet.
any
I've
of the
got-
parts yet?
Is there
I've got to
is
get
there
with
an Acme
Bogey.
rocket
I've got to get
ball?
with Bogey and Cousin It
Oh,
because
yeah.
Cousin It has a frame jig,
Okay.
and it's going to be a seriously altered frame. I will give you one of my ideas.
Okay.
Based on the frame design of this, dude, I could make that look like a Schwinn really easily. And make the banana seat for it, and that.
We'll have the shifter on.
Exactly. That's one of my ideas rolling around. I mean, and that fucked up girder kind of Springer front end.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Run a real tiny front wheel, like off a moped or something.
Hell yeah! Now you have to.
Right.
And
But the other one, it would be really cool.
More conventional.
Yeah, something a little more. But I'm going to paint it myself. I was looking at either way. I wanted to use that Big Daddy Roth Rat Fang line of paints
Sure.
that are out there. It's all rattle can.
Yep.
And come to find out that a few people I know have tried a few times to use that, and
Not the best results.
no, it was just inferior product. The cans or something are bad. For what they're paying for the amount of
Yeah, I know a
paint.
few painters now.
I know, but I wanted to do something myself. Yeah, oh yeah, dude. I know all the same painters you know.
I know way more painters than you do now.
Well, for the motorcycle,
for the business I'm in.
there's only two that I need,
Right.
and and both of them, ironically, are in my phone these days. And one, your cousin John, not a big deal, but
Yeah, and all
man,
of them are
16,
hard to sell.
18-year-olds
You get them to call you
gearheads
back.
got in my dad's garage wrenching on all my shit trying to make it a hot rod. I never in a million years thought that I would be friends with Ron Finch.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't
You
that
know?
crazy, man?
I know,
That
it's-
guy's awesome.
Ron's great.
Yep,
What a legend.
Yeah.
true legend.
We just went riding with him not too
You
long
did.
ago.
I mean, I miss out on every
Yeah.
fucking ride with him because it's always last minute. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, Ron
get a
usually
plan.
just. I called him on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I think it was, and I said, "Hey, Ron, when are we getting together for a ride?" He goes, "Oh, that wouldn't hurt my feelings, Ron." And I was like, "Sweet, when do you want to go?" And he's like, "Well, the weekend's best." And I'm like, "All right." And it ended up being a Sunday, right? Because you had Levi. So
Yeah, because it was supposed to. Our first go around at it
Was
supposed
Saturday.
No, it
Or,
was
well,
supposed to be
it
a
was a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I was like, yeah, I'll take a day off work to go ride with Ron. No fucking problem,
Yeah.
But no, it just never works out. But I get to party with him at his place, so that's good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
It's awesome because you see him, walking slow. Obviously, he's up in years.
85 now.
Yeah, and then you get him, you see him on a bike,
86
and
in
it's
March.
just another another guy on a bike having a blast, right? Still, so it's awesome, and his legacy is just if you look back and the stuff that he's built and continues
Oh,
to
God,
build, and
yeah.
his art,
His pioneering,
Yeah.
real wild stuff.
yeah, it's so cool.
Well, since we're talking about him, I want to wish him all the best because he fell and hurt his shoulder.
Oh, man.
And then he was trying to get out of a truck, and he's got a bad leg, so he's trying to kind of turn himself to get onto his better leg and twisted the same arm he had fallen on, and a little bit worse. So he made it worse. But on the ride, we went. Gail was in the. He rode the sidecar rig, and Gail was in the sidecar, and he was riding, and he set it up with a who was it that made it? Not Barnett. Shit, I can't remember. Who Anyways, it was a clutch system where all he has to do is keep the throttle on and tap it, and it goes right into gear. So he doesn't have to pull in the clutch, basically.
Well, that's cool. Find a way, right?
Yeah.
There's a will, there's a...
Yeah, because he can't quite do that. It just doesn't, it hurts like
Yeah,
hell.
well,
So
either grip
he
strength eventually.
admitted he was pretty sore, but he was out there.
Yeah.
He was out there having fun. So I want to wish him all the best.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And
Prayers out
good
to you.
healing. I know he doesn't want to do surgery. He just wants it to heal on its own. And
Can't blame
so, I mean, I'm not a fan of anybody cutting
We
me
need to get
open
out there
either.
and see them before the holidays.
Yeah, let's go,
Yeah.
man. We'll all go.
Yep.
Get him on the show.
Go see the museum.
Yeah, it's
Always
been a
a
minute
good time
since I've
out there.
Been a minute, so... yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because you haven't been there, right?
I'm not on my bike ever.
Right?
No.
Oh, you've been there in a car?
Yeah, I've been there. It's been a few years.
Okay.
Actually, before I even had my Harley, I had my Vulcan.
Did you ride that one?
No, my Vulcan I did ride. I had over 180,000 miles on it. I do ride my bike a lot more than you guys think, but
We
a
just
lot,
don't ever see it.
a lot less than I did for when I was doing strictly the magazine stuff. When I was
Right,
strictly
right.
magazine, so I'm like trying to fight.
Jim rides a lot less these days too. Ask him why.
He's keeping his finger stuck in a wedding ring.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Just kidding, Christian.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It is.
Everybody looks like, "Ugh."
He makes other excuses, but we all know. what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
Well, I'm not talking shit because I'm headed that way too, actually. It seems like I fucking settled down with one girl for how long? It's fucking...
How many miles this year, Brendan? 36.
Counting tomorrow? We're gonna ride tonight. I'm going to Blue Angels.
Well, I gotta say
Sure
too,
you
if
are.
anybody wants to see anything that we kind of kicked off Bikes, Babes, and Booze supporting, it was this thing called the Fallen Heroes Memorial Foundation.
Okay. Is that-
It's in Pontiac at the Municipal Center.
Okay.
At Telegraph, just south of Dixie Highway. And in that
Is that
Municipal
Elizabeth Lake
Center,
Road right there? Is that?
it's a little bit north still of that, but
You
north
can't
of,
miss it. You
Right.
can't miss it. There's a bunch of memorials out
Okay.
there.
Yeah, and now they've got a big sign that says the Fallen Heroes Memorial Foundation, so that's kind of cool. But you go in there, and it was a gentleman that was a retired Air Force veteran named Skip Bussart, and his son, he lost his son in the Gulf War.
Oh.
And what this does is it honors any soldiers that lost their lives through the Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Persian Gulf, all that.
Middle East.
Yeah, the
conflict.
Middle Eastern conflicts, and that resided or were from Oakland County.
Was that the Jeep trailer that was at the Mary's event?
No, that's a different one.
Okay, okay.
But what this was is they did these granite slabs, and they did for the first time. In my understanding, is that it was the first time they laser etched all the soldiers' faces on this memorial.
Badass.
So not only does it have their name, it gives their rank, where they were deployed, what commendations they got as far as any medals
Purple Heart
or
or whatnot,
achievements.
yeah.
Any of that stuff is all listed, and then of course their date of passing. But it was beautiful. It was absolutely wonderful. I'd never seen nothing like it up until that point, and it was just outstanding.
Is there a Facebook or is there a link on your
I'm
Facebook for all
sure
that?
I'll make sure I put one up tonight.
All right,
So I'll
yeah,
put
just
one up on
shoot
our
one over to me and
Facebook
we'll
page.
put the link over
Yeah.
to this. But there is a Facebook page for Bikes Page.
That could be sitting right next to your bike too.
I'll look. I mean, I doubt it. I looked a couple weeks ago at my bike and
It's facebook.com/bikes-babes-booze, all one word.
Yep.
And then it'll come right to our page.
Yeah.
Please like and follow.
yeah, for sure.
And
man.
then Jim was also involved with the Million Bikers to DC.
Yeah, Million Bikers to DC. That
You
was.
gotta tell the Bob story.
Is that the Rolling Thunder?
No, it was called 2 Million Bikers to DC, and it was basically to honor everybody that was lost in 9/11 as far as first responders.
Okay.
And it was to bring awareness to the fact that we needed to honor and take care of the families of those people.
Agreed.
And so we went to DC to do that. We stopped in Pennsylvania at the Flight 93 Memorial, then went on to DC. But the funniest story is I was the chapter president for the state of Michigan to run that out there, or the state coordinator, I think is what they called me. And there was another gentleman by the name, his name is David Fortier. He's a U.S. Navy veteran, and he's in northern Michigan. And he was unable to do it for whatever reason just before we were kind of launching, and I was his assistant. So I became the state coordinator by default, so to speak.
Okay.
So
Jim had
there
a
was,
coup.
yeah. So yeah, I led the coup. And so we met at Cabela's in Dundee and went to DC from there. And so anyway, I'm rolling with my buddy Bob, and who's our another mutual friend, Chops, his cousin, oddly enough. So we're rolling out to DC together, and we're just into Ohio, and we're just, or is it Ohio at that point, or is it Michigan where the nuclear plant is? It is Ohio, right? Toledo, yeah, because you're on 2. So we're getting on to 2, and we're going toward the nuclear facility, so you kind of get an idea of the direction we're heading. Anyway, we're on that road, and it's starting to rain, and Bob goes, I gotta take a piss. So I'm like, all right, so I'll start looking, for somewhere where we can stop where they got a bathroom. All of a sudden, I look next to me, Bob's gone. Nowhere in sight. I'm checking my mirrors, he's nowhere to be found. So I loop around, I head back the other direction, and then I finally see him on this road, which was, the way we were going, he turned right on this road. The road was dirt instantly, and it went downhill. So he turned around and then parked somewhat on the hill and was taking a leak and was holding his front brake because the bike was sliding and he was peeing on the exhaust. So all this pee steam's coming up into his eye, and he's yelling at me, come over here and hold the bike. Well, I'm laughing so hard. I'm like, I could not get off the bike. If I did, I would have fallen. It was hysterical. So that's just, one of those road stories that you never forget. And I'll always see, standing on an incline, holding the bike with his hand, peeing, squinting because of the steam coming up off the exhaust, and the bike sliding down the dirt gravel road that's muddy because it's starting to downpour.
There's got to be better options.
Yeah, I was like, dude, there was just a barbecue spot up here. He goes, I couldn't wait any longer. So it killed me. I was dying. But yeah, road stories are always fun.
I can picture the fucking.
Oh my god, it was funny as hell. There's been lots of those, lots of crazy stories. What's his name? Spud was another one.
Spud.
We were
It's
on
like
our
magic carpet with pipes.
Yeah, we were on our way to Sturgis in 2015 for the 75th, and we went our usual route, which is north up through Michigan.
Yeah.
Crossed
That was the
Mackinac.
first time we were taking that, and we missed our turn.
Yes, and if anybody wants to know this, Michigan people, if you are in the Detroit metro area and you want to go to Sturgis, if you go north and cross the Mackinac and take 2 west and follow the top of Lake Michigan, which is an absolutely beautiful ride, and you
is.
avoid Chicago and all that BS and stop and go, just like Atlanta, we all know how horrible it is. It's only 90 miles extra.
It
only
is
90 miles.
But what Jim fails to tell you is it's an extra 4.5 hours to go that way.
It's only 90 miles extra. That's it. It's only 90 miles. Don't listen to him.
But
It's
And you don't
beautiful.
have
It's
to
a
go
way
through
better
Chicago.
ride.
You
It's
can go
worth
through
it.
Joliet. You can stay on 80 and go in
Yeah, fuck
Iowa,
all that noise.
Yeah, it's
deal with the grasshoppers out that way.
It's 40 hours. It's 40 hours. 4 hours better scenery than
Oh,
you would
yeah.
get going to fucking
Yeah,
Chicagoland.
way better.
Unless Chicagoland's your
Yeah.
thing.
I've
right?
done the
I mean, but-
research. I mean, but this year, I mean, I made it there in 2 days, and I made it back in 2 days.
Right.
But
Going
the second day on the way back, dude, we left out of.
2 days is hard riding.
That's
Oh yeah. Especially when we woke up in what's the name of that first city out there? Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
Sioux
Yeah.
Falls. We woke up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yeah.
And I pulled in at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, to my
because
house.
you think
At
when
that
you
point,
get to
I
Sioux
just wanted
Falls,
to
you're
be.
like, yeah, I'm almost to Sturgis.
And
And
you're
it's
not.
like 9 hours later. I'm just getting to Sturgis.
Yeah. Just because you're in South Dakota.
It's like
doesn't-
going
It
through
was,
Georgia.
it was tough, man. It was
Fuck.
real tough that second day, especially after all the days. You know,
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah.
last day is always the hardest.
and it kicks your ass. It takes a day to recoup
Yep.
from a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
2-day ride.
Well,
Or
it takes
6,
yeah, or a couple months.
yeah.
Especially if you come home and you're doing something around the house a couple days later and you get bit by a brown recluse and get fucking poison ivy in the same fucking shot.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
That
a
was-
drag. So that just fucked up everything after Sturgis.
Scott Luck.
Scott Luck.
I told you to stop calling her brown recluse too.
Black
Black
Widow.
Widow.
Are you talking about your leakage?
No. Oh no! When I had suffered too, we went up to the fucking UP, Jill. We went up to not by Whitefish Point, but I forget where we were.
Were you on the bike?
Copper Harbor.
Yeah, totally. As long as you don't ask any more questions, we were totally on the bike. And we went. we
It
walked
was
through
Miners Beach.
Miners Beach. We went and we fucking the water
okay.
was like glass for like 3 days
Uh-huh.
in Lake Superior. So we're like swimming and she's only wading in it, except the river that goes in there. And we get back to the Airbnb or the B&B that we had, and she's like, "Man, my feet itch." I'm like, "Oh man, poison ivy." It was an 8-minute drive up the fucking driveway to get to the cabin, and
It was from the water, wasn't it?
yes, but my dumb ass is in there with my GoPro, fucking, I'll be in fucking scuba ski, fucking super squats, fucking. So, but like poison ivy and everything takes me a few days for the reaction to fucking hit. So I just thought, like everything crossed her mind, fucking bad bugs or something with her.
Right.
She just couldn't figure it out. And then we got home, and I'm like, I'm starting to fucking itch. And I'm like, so we started doing the Google, and like fucking swimmer's itch, my head to toe was fucking, like I wanted to fucking cut my legs off. I was close to like going to ER and shit. I was fucking, it was so miserable.
That's so. What is it called?
Swimmer's itch, it's a bacteria that from like whatever that gets on you, and you're not a suitable host, so it dies and gets in like a small fucking.
Ugh.
And yeah, I ended up fucking a month and a half on fucking creams and
Post
shit.
the pictures.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not gonna post the pictures. That's being like my fucking hockey. It's not. Those aren't for fucking everybody's
What's the name of
eyes.
that shit?
What?
You put on shit like that?
Calamine.
Calamine.
Yeah. He looks like a pink nightmare.
Dude, I was in the shower every 2 minutes, fucking cold shower, and like I got scars from fucking scratching. We were at a clubhouse in Detroit, and I had shorts on. I was there with the guys from God Squad, and we were presenting. And
You were riding with shorts on?
yeah, I always ride with shorts on, man. I go with flip flops
Flip-flops?
sometimes.
Nice.
So I'm like scratching my fucking leg, and one of the dudes is like, "You're fucking bleeding, dude. You okay?" I'm like, "No, I fucking just scratched the fucking skin right
Yeah.
off. It was itching so bad." I was like, "Dude," but that swimmer's itch is no joke. I would never wish that on anybody. But
Wow, that sucks.
poison ivy too, though. I mean, that can be just as bad if,
Oh, it's tough.
if you get, depending on where too.
Yeah, especially getting bit by a brown recluse and having poison ivy at the same time.
In the same spot.
In the same spot.
Dude, it was a
Got
drag.
leg or what?
Huh?
Leg?
No,
No,
it was
right
an
here on
arm.
the back of my
Oh,
arm
you know what,
was
you did
where
show
I
me
got
one.
bit. But my whole back of my arm, you know, in retrospect, having poison ivy was probably the best thing because it pushed all the poison out. But, you know,
That's
it's a
why you
medication.
got it.
Yeah, sure.
Works in mysterious ways.
I
All right.
So it
I'll
was tough.
show him Scott Luck.
But wait, there's more. So
Hold my lightning bolt.
yeah. Smite me, old spider.
Jim Carrey.
So what are you guys? What rides are an event you looking forward coming up? What forward to most? Probably not doing Sturgis.
Sturgis always for me.
going to Sturgis this
Yeah, but next year, we're planning on doing Route 66.
That's right. You told me
It's
about
the
that.
100th
To
anniversary.
California, right? All the way to the coast. You guys are gonna do.
Yeah, we're planning on getting that together, and there's a few people that have already posted interest on that.
I'd be interested in that.
You know,
We're
and
gonna have
people,
some
you know,
people
going, because they wanna go out certain places
Yeah.
and then they'll bail out and
Well, we
make it
want
back on their own.
to, we want to start at the, I believe it's the Chicago Library that does, or they have the
At the
Vietnam.
beginning.
Yeah, they have the Vietnam
Slowly
commemoration with all the dog tags of the 58,000.
Yeah.
That's like
That
an
have
indoor
passed, so
sculpture
we
kinda
want to make that
thing.
our kickoff official point, because of course we'll be coming from Detroit, so
Sure.
we're gonna have a couple 100-mile ride before we get to there, but from there, that kicks us off onto Route 66, and then it's gonna be a scenic, slow roll until we get to the Santa Monica Pier. And then, I wanna roll north on the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway.
Yep.
Until I get to Seattle, and then I wanna pick up US 2 all the way back to St. Ignace.
I was gonna say, it
And
goes
then
all
I
the way
can
straight through.
take-
That's a,
Well, that-
that's a badass.
That's a big rectangle,
Yeah.
so that's the
For
goal.
me, if I can find a rich enough woman with a great portfolio, you know, just send them over, have you, Lori, send my people, you know. all the
Have your people call his people. Mike's
Yeah,
favorite
I
groups.
can do that, but you know, they say it's 3 weeks on Route 66 alone.
Yeah, yep.
And that's,
So Jim's talking about, you know, a good 2 months, 3
Yeah.
months.
Well, that's another thing about us is,
I know, it's fucking
we
Richard
do
Monaco.
ride. We ride everywhere we go. We don't trailer our bikes ever.
The only
There are
acceptable
no
place is
events.
Daytona, and that's only because it's
Only if it's
you're always
spring.
guaranteed to hit snow
Only if it's
on the
bike
way
week.
back.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
Only if it's
Oktoberfest
bike week.
is
Like
okay.
Oktoberfest,
Is okay.
we can ride both ways, and that's why I go there usually for Oktoberfest and not for Bike Week. I went to Bike Week once, and I had to put my bike in the back of my pickup and take it down there because of the snow in
No, it
Michigan
was a-
before I left.
You put it on my trailer too.
it's a good thing for, I
Not
think,
for bike. Oh, that was a different Bike Week. You're right. Yes, there were
yeah,
2. Otherwise, but I've been to like 7 or 8 Biketoberfest and 2 Bike Weeks. So
Yeah, but the bike week is definitely better because, you know,
There are
it's
more
the end of
people at-
winter.
there are
you
more
know,
people at
You're just
Bike
itching to
Week,
get
for
out,
sure.
but the
If you feel the bike ministry may be your calling, look up God Squad Christian Motorcycle Club. They're in 13 countries with over 40 chapters. There's bound to be one near you.
what were you guys saying? You guys fucking show us fucking lot lizards, trucks, and
yeah, trucks, lot lizards, and meth labs.
that's the next evolution of bike.
It's going to be a different segment show.
Yeah, different
it's catchy.
yeah, different demographic for sure. I see it taking off. So, well, I think you guys
We've
come.
gone the extra mile for the better class of method. You know? They still have 2 teeth left.
Yeah, it's really popular in Florida, man.
Yeah,
All trash, no trailer.
they don't quite have the skin spots yet, right? Like in your audience, that's highbrow. You guys need to lower it. So I appreciate you guys coming on. You guys have had me on a couple times.
Cheers to that.
It's always fun to hang out and chat when we can. JCHandy.net. And when you said
Coffins of tin.
Jack, when you said Jack, what'd you say for the?
I
So
just
I'm
made
thinking-
up 2. I said Jack Charles.
Yeah, Jack Charles Handy. So Jack
Yeah.
Handy was fucking Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I know.
Deep
I always
thoughts,
go
Jack
there
Handy.
too. I always go
Deep
there.
thoughts.
But not that Jack
Yes,
Handy.
it's not that JC Handy.
If you see a bottle of Quasier, you better run.
Ah, yeah.
Quasier. Oh, that's great.
When do you guys think you're going to be back on? And it's going to be recorded, not live.
Well, I don't know exactly. I think we're gonna go live to begin
Initially?
with
Okay.
until we we got to figure out the whole camera thing. To be honest, I mean,
Me too.
I want to make sure I don't want to make
And we
an
need some better
amateur
makeup
hour
artists, you know.
when it comes out. I
Gotta
want to make
capture
sure it
our
looks
good
cool.
side.
Yeah, so if that's your good one. But no, I still have to figure out the fucking camera thing, dude. I do the best I can, but I don't have everything I want, right?
Yeah, you know.
Money.
It'll take some learning. I mean, right now our money shot's worth 6 cents, you know?
Wait, where? That's 3 more than I did. No matter
So
what it
that's
tastes
where
like.
you're always putting your 2 cents in.
No matter how, yeah, no matter what it tastes like.
Boo.
What? But I'm looking forward to hearing more. I love you guys' show. I listen a
Thanks,
lot.
man. Thanks for coming on, too.
No, my pleasure. I felt like I made it big time when I was on Bikes, Games, and Booze, and then I got on there and I got
Superstar.
fucking ripped on for not riding my fucking motorcycle. And I was like, you know what? These guys are kind of dicks.
That's okay. We would have ripped on you about anything.
That's why it's so fun, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
I don't mind it a bit. It's
We
fun
keep
shit,
it real.
man.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're not going to hold back.
That's what
We
I
don't
was-
have
make fun of
filters.
ourselves quite
Well,
often
man,
too.
that's
We
what
do.
makes it
yeah.
fun. That's what makes
If you
the
can't
fun.
make fun of yourself, you shouldn't make fun of others.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So-
And that's what makes it fun. is
People
you
laugh
fucking-
at Jim all the time. You know,
Yeah,
you just look at
exactly.
him and laugh, and
Yeah,
laugh, and
exactly.
laugh.
Look at this toothless motherfucker.
Well, I mean, I get it. Right?
Hey, easy, killer.
All right.
How'd that get there?
What the hell?
A violent turn all of a sudden.
Thank God my drink was empty.
That's right.
Just finished it.
That's right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys around, and I'd be interested to do some of that PCH highway. I mean, I don't think I can take 6 months off of work.
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah.
Well, I mean, I could have.
Do.
I could have just done it.
Right.
I've been dealing with the time and money dichotomy.
It's nothing
this
set
year-
in stone. It's all up for debate. I mean, there's a lot of schedules that have to be hammered out. There's a lot of finances that have to be hammered out. So
the big
it's all what everybody can do, you know.
Right,
I mean, if people got, I mean, because I know like Bogey from Shielded Souls, he
Yeah.
wants to go, but he said he has family in California. So when he gets to Santa Monica, he's done, you know.
Right.
He goes, I'll ship my bike back. I'm like,
Right,
cool, man,
right,
good
right,
for
you
you.
know,
So
Depending
whatever.
on my
It's-
schedule, I might just jump in a U-Haul or a budget truck and toss my bike in the back and haul ass back. But
Exactly.
it all depends on what bike I'm riding at that point too.
Exactly.
I might just fly
so
out
there's so
each
many
time.
varying
Sure, you
factors,
can do that
but
too, man.
everybody's welcome.
You know?
And you know,
They got all
go
kinds
as
of electric
far or
motorcycles in
as little as you
California.
want.
Those are fun.
Yeah,
They're
they
fun.
Are, they are. I've rode a Zero. They're fun.
But it's not
wouldn't
something I
wanna
would buy.
I wouldn't try and drive them
No.
across the country.
Fuck
with
no,
it.
I have
crazy?
to.
Not unless you had a fucking solar panel on your helmet.
Yeah, then you're looking at least
Yeah,
a
no
year for
thanks.
that trip. I mean,
Well, you can always
I-
put a trailer hitch on it and put two
Yeah.
generators out there hooked to each of your trailer wheels. You know?
remember the old bike thing where you put the light on and the generator as you pedal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the light got brighter the faster you went.
yeah. And your light got brighter
Same
and dimmer
kind
and
of
brighter
thing,
and
you know?
dimmer and brighter
But
and
you
dimmer.
gotta have the rabbit ears, you know?
I hate hills in the dark, bright and bright.
That would be a fucking adventure. Like I had fun cruising that thing around the block a couple times, but I was just like, if you got one, fucking great. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you fucking like it, but
If
it's
you have
fun.
the opportunity to ride one, I strongly suggest it, especially if you know the
Yeah.
person who owns it, and they'll take it. Now I
What,
got the
the
ride.
electric thing?
Yeah, I got the ride to Zero on the second click down from Kill. So I was just one spot
Second click
underneath
down
Kill,
from
and you know I went 6 miles and took 8% of the battery life out. You know, and he's like, "You do realize that I can go back and check everything?" And I was like, "Yeah, you probably don't want to do that, but you said to go have a good time with it. You knew what I was gonna do, you know, and it's
Yeah.
back safe."
Hell yeah, man.
So yeah, I mean, my God, get on, sit down, shut up, and hold on
Yeah,
because
it's there.
you know, yeah, and there's no missing a shift ever.
No.
You know,
Yeah, he looked
but,
back.
I mean,
Now,
I
is there actually a shifter on there or nothing?
No,
it just
you
goes.
just-
It just
yeah,
goes.
you take your
roll and go.
when
eh?
you roll off the accelerator,
That's-
you know, it starts
okay.
to slow down. You know, you almost don't even need brakes
Right.
Yep.
for most of it, but you know,
But when you roll on
just turn it
throttle,
on. You
wow.
know, it sounds like those little speeders that they rode with the Ewoks on whatever moon that was, Endor or whatever.
Well,
You know,
I'm an ice guy. I have only ridden internal combustion engine motorcycles. None
and
of that
good for
electric
you.
crap.
Yeah, you're sheltered.
Yeah. Well, the future doesn't like
But then
you
again,
either.
you also got to ride one of them
Whatever.
second generation Confederates.
Yeah. Well,
What was the name of that bike?
Who's
The
like-
Confederate?
Yeah, there was the Rebel, I think.
The one you rode up there at Spartan?
That was not a Confederate. That was a Modus. Modus was started by one of the guys that left Confederate
Right.
motorcycles, and Modus. Oh God.
Yeah, we.
I can't remember the name of the bike right now. Isn't that horrible?
It's been really cool.
I'm having a brain fart, sorry, but
Okay, on
it
that
was
note.
the touring bike of the Modus. It was a V4 carved out of a single piece of aluminum.
Oh.
And dude, it was like half, they called it a baby V8 because it was a V4. It was half of a V8 cut in half. But when you sat on this bike and you revved it, you went like this. Because it had that much torque in the motor. And the guy even said, and his name was Lee, and he even said as we were exiting Spartan Cycles on Gratiot, and just north of them is M59. So we were catching M59 off Gratiot, and he goes, "Do not think that if you twist the throttle, the front wheel will not come up." Because it will. So be careful when you come out and when you get onto 50.
Hey guys, if you're like me, on your long trips on your bike, you like to have some music, and you really want to be able to hear it when you're at highway speed. If you're thinking about upgrading your Bagger audio this season, contact Kevin at Insomnia Bagger Audio from Battle Creek, Michigan at 269-224-8119. Kevin can find the system for your needs and your budget. Insomnia is offering discounts if you store your bike in their heated facility this winter. Look them up to find out more.
We took this predetermined route that they had figured out, but at one point we got onto I-94. So I faded back to be in last place and then decided to play catch up, which was incredible.
Yeah.
And it was outstanding. So it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. I believe Modus has gone out now. They sold off the last of their inventory out of Spartan Cycle in whatever city they're in. I'm sorry, they're off Gratiot there in M59. And they used to carry their product, but when they went out, they went out. So it is what it is. But it was a wonderful opportunity and a rarity, and we always say every year we want to get into more test riding and doing reporting on test riding, which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And give us a lot more insight, because we've reported on all the new bikes and the new trends and everything that
Yeah,
comes
we used to
up
have
and-
motorcycle comparisons and
yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Exactly, but to have
They
it,
haven't really switched up anything lately, so there's no real point. It's just the same old recycled garbage.
Right.
Kind of is,
yeah, but we've got some great connections. I mean,
Yep, absolutely.
I know Charlie, who's the owner of Ducati Detroit, so he's
That we
invited
never
us
took
down
him up
to-
on the offer to go ride them.
And he's told us, come on down, test ride anything you want. So, and same with Gary Latessa at Spartan Cycle. He's given
Yeah,
us the
they used to
invitation.
handle Urals there too, and
Yeah.
we wanted to go do a test ride on a Ural
Well, now
sidecar.
they've got, they've still got Indian and Royal Enfield. I
Right,
believe,
okay.
at Spartan.
I got no problem riding either one of them.
Yeah, and there may be something else too. And then Detroit Iron on M59 has some stuff that you don't see in every other store. They've got Aprilia in there.
Okay, do they really?
They've
Okay.
got Moto Guzzi in there.
I was wondering if there was an Aprilia around.
If you want an Italian stallion, that's your place to go. So,
Well, you've rode one motorcycle, you want to ride them all.
right, exactly.
That's Sterling. What's that? Sterling Heights? They're in.
No, that'd be like Walled Lake or.
Where at?
They're on M59 and I think somewhere in the neighborhood of Pontiac Lake Road.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's not
I
World
can't
Lake
tell you.
anymore. That's over by Oakland Airport.
So that's Waterford almost.
Waterford
yeah,
is.
I'm not sure. Don't
What?
quote me.
Yep, yep.
There's one on.
They're on M59. Look them up.
Sure.
I'm thinking the one in
They're in
Oakland
Oakland
County. Ryan or Van Dyke. There's a Detroit. maybe that's Murder City Choppers that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, the 9 Van Dyke,
Yeah, okay, that's the one. I
That's
was
Detroit
thinking of.
Sorry to
Choppers.
everybody,
Murder
we're,
City
you know,
Choppers or
something
something.
like that.
yeah, sorry to everybody for not getting everything right. This isn't scripted, obviously.
If it was, fuck.
Right. Wow, damn. These guys really suck.
Wow, that's the best we can afford.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
How much you pay for the new guy? $20? Not worth it.
Not worth it, George. Not worth it. So, but all right. Well, we'll do a sign off because I don't know if the battery's gonna fucking last this time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Minimal charging time.
Minimal.
right?
It was
All right.
minimal. It was the DB 30 minutes.
Oh, yes, true enough, yes.
So, appreciate again you guys coming on. Always good to have you guys on.
Our pleasure.
Always a ton of fucking fun.
When do we get paid?
God.
Yeah, is it a check or
Yep.
cash on hand?
You guys just wait here when I pack everything up. I'm getting out my card on the dashboard to sign it over.
Oh, we get your autograph too? Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, how many L's are in Jillian?
Batman.
That's right. I need something to sign the checks.
No,
So-
great times. Thanks for
Thank you,
having
yeah.
us.
Thanks
and
for
thanks
having
for
us.
what you do for the motorcycle community. And
How much?
no, man, you're all over the place. You know, really, you get a lot of stuff going on. You're always, I see you all the time. You're somewhere
Yeah.
doing something for someone.
Yeah.
The can drive, how'd that go, by the way?
It's still going.
Okay.
There's a party tonight at a clubhouse in Lansing to try to get it. I think so. This area, what they say they do, they did 6 20-something foot trailers down to Carolina for the hurricane, full.
Nice.
And then a minivan. So it's a little slower on donations for the food bank, but only because they gave so much already. So
Yeah.
there's a party tonight to try to kick it into high gear.
Okay.
The 20th, there's, what is that? I think that's like next Wednesday. There's the first pickup date at Diamondback Motorcycle Club in Diamondale. If you guys are available to go, I'll be in Milwaukee. But it's a good time there. Good time. The clubhouse is coming together nicely after the fire. And then the Christmas one, this is further down the road, which I'll be at. That kicks off technically on the 20th, 21st, I guess. 20th is collecting the Thanksgiving ones. So I'm sure we'll be in touch, right? We talk
Oh, yeah.
about it, so. But yeah, thanks again. Looking forward to the show, new format.
Yeah, like I said, it'll be, audio like it used to be to start with.
Sure, I
But
mean-
then, as soon as we can get the ball rolling, we'll get the cameras involved and scare everybody with the faces that you have to look at.
Halloween or not, you gotta see it.
Oops.
All right, guys. Thanks a bunch,
Hey,
man.
thanks much.
All right.
Great to see you.
Jill's gonna take
Great
some
to
pictures.
be here with you.
All right, thanks. See you guys next time. Catchphrase.
Catchphrase.
Parking with Brendan.
Trucking.
Sitting with Brendan.
Doors and